everyone, welcome back to my channel and also welcome back to the end of JetBase series. By far, we have learned how to log in using Firebase authentication and Firebase real-time database. Not only that, but we have also learned how to store data in Firebase real-time database, how to store images in Firebase storage, and how to store videos in Firebase storage. And lastly, how to store data in Firestore. Isn't that great? As I mentioned at the beginning of the series, we will create a project that covers all the topics of Firebase we have learned so far. And here we are. So we will be creating a resume app where a user can create an entire resume by adding their personal details, qualification details, skills, work experience, and a profile photo. We will be storing all of these details in Firebase real-time database and Firebase cloud storage. Not only that, but we can view the resume, but we can also download the resume in a PDF format. Isn't that cool? Let me show you the demo. This is our first screen where we will add the personal details such as profile photo, name, email, phone, and location. Click on Next. Then we will add the qualification details and skills, which include degree, institution, start year, end year, and skills. Again, click on Next. Then lastly, add the experience details such as previous company name, role, years of experience, and responsibilities. Click on Finish. This is what the resume preview looks like. Click on Save. This will store all the data in the Firebase real-time database as well as Firebase cloud storage for images. You can also edit the details and save them again. See, it is reflected in the database as well. Now let's download the PDF. Save it, and here it is. A complete resume in a PDF format that you can actually use and share for job applications. Also, it's a CRUD-based app, so create, read, update, and now delete. The resume will be deleted from the database. And now you can create a new resume. Cool, right? Of course, it's not a professional resume creator app, but definitely a beginner friendly. You can add more advanced features to it, like multiple resumes can be created within one app, more fields, more organized, user login, right? For now, this project itself is very big. Big as in you have to write a lot of code for it. Hence, I have divided the project into 4 parts. This is our part 1 where we'll set up the database and Firebase. So let's begin. Open Android Studio, create a new Jetpack Compose project. I'll name it My Resume App and click on Finish. First thing first, connect our project with Firebase. Go to Tools, Firebase, choose Real-Time Database. Get started with Real-Time Database. Click on Connect to Firebase. Firebase console will be open automatically. Click on Create a Firebase project. I'll keep the name as it is. Follow the steps shown on the screen. And done. Our project is successfully connected to Firebase. Next, add SDK by clicking on Accept Changes. Then go back to the Firebase console. In your project, choose Real-Time Database. Create database. Choose US as the server. Start in test mode and click on Enable. Our project is successfully connected to the Firebase real-time database. We also need Firebase storage, so let's set up that as well. So choose cloud storage. The cloud storage requires a premium account of Firebase, which is Blaze. Currently, I am using Firebase Spark, which is a free account. Now, you do not have to spend any money, you just need to upgrade your account as shown. To use the Blaze account, we also need a cloud billing account. I already have one, so I'll just use that one. Also, while creating a billing account, it will ask for autopay of 15,000. But don't worry, it won't cut your money at all. It's a free trial for 90 days. Once you have a billing account, link it with your Firebase, and there you go. See, it says pay as you go. So it will charge you money only if you use their premium service or anything above the limit. That too after 90 days. After the project is done, cancel the autopay. Simple. Now click on Get Started, choose the server location, start in test mode, and done. Our cloud storage is set up. This is where the images will be stored. Also, we can add Firebase authentication but anonymously. Firebase Anonymous Login allows user to interact with your app's feature without needing to provide any personal information or create a separate account. If you want to make it advanced, you can use an email password or OTP login. This way, the resume will be saved even after the app is closed. But for simplicity, I'll go with Anonymous. Now come back to Android Studio, go to Gradle, add these 10 dependencies. I'll mention them in the description box so you can copy and paste them from there. All of this are for navigation, lifecycle, Firebase, coroutines, PDF generation, and coil. Coil is used to display images. Click on Sync now and done. Next, create a package, data. Inside it, create a data class. I'll name it models. Here we will add all the data parameters that we are supposed to save, starting with personal details, which include the name, whose data type is string, and then the email, phone, location, and photo URL. Simple. Next, qualification skills, which include a degree, institution, start year, end year, and skills. Then next, experience, that includes responsibilities, experience years, company, and role. And that's all, right? But to make it more organized and manageable, we are going to contain them in one data class, that is resume data. So all parts of a resume such as personal details, qualification skills, and experience stay together as one complete unit, making it easier to save, retrieve, and manage. Hence, first it holds an ID, a unique identifier for the resume, then the three grouped pieces of data class, personal details, qualification skills, and experience. Instead of dumping all fields into one long data class, the resume is broken into three data classes, later combined into one data class, making it easier to manage. Next, we will create one more data class, UI state. This class represents the state of your resume, like creating, updating, or displaying basically behind the scenes. It contains a resume object, that is a resume data class, which includes all the other data classes. Then, local photo URL, which stores a path to a selected photo from the user's device. Then there is saving, a Boolean flag that tells the UI whether the app is currently saving data. Next, last saved ID is a way to remember the most recent resume entry that was saved. Finally, a message is a simple way to show success or error messages to the user. Together, resume data models the actual content of the resume, while UI state models everything the screen needs to know at a given moment. Got it? Next, let's set up the repository. So create a new class, resume repository. Here we will set up the Firebase database and its CRUD operations. The resume repository acts as a middleman between your app and Firebase, handling all the data operations. At the start, it sets up two important connections, one to the Firebase real-time database and another to Firebase storage. It also defines a user ID property, so every resume is linked to the currently logged in user, but if no one is signed in, then guest. Now all the CRUD operations where our first function is create or update. It's like either we are creating or updating the existing one, right? It contains parameters such as resume data, which is all our fields, and bitmap for the profile photo. At the end, it will return the resume data. It first checks whether the incoming resume data has an ID. If not, it generates one using Firebase push key or a random UUID to guarantee uniqueness. This is the path where the resume details will be saved. Next, it prepares the photo. If the resume already has a stored photo that is in photo URL, it keeps it. But if the user provides a new photo as a bitmap, that is local photo bitmap is not null, means photo is present. Then the image is compressed into JPG bytes and uploaded to the Firebase storage under the photo path as shown, which is tied to the user and resume ID. Next, a new photo URL is generated with its new download link. With the ID and photo URL ready, the function creates an updated copy of the resume using Kotlin's copy function to ensure it's immutable, which means fixed. Finally, this updated resume is saved into the Firebase real-time database under the current user's collection as shown in the path, and the updated object is returned. In short, the function ensures that both text details and profile photos are properly stored, updated, and always linked to the right resume. Got it? Next, the repository also provides a fetch function which simply looks up a resume by its ID in the database and converts it back into resume data object. See, using ID part, the data is stored in the resume data variable, and then using getValue, it is fetched. Then next, a delete function which removes both the resume from the database and its photo from storage using ID. See, using ID's path, it removes the data from the database using remove value, and then using ID's photos path, it deletes the photo from the storage. But what is this run catching? It is a Kotlin function that safely runs a block of code and wraps the result in a result object. It also handles the exception without crashing by returning either a success value or a failure with the exception. It's more like a try-catch block but a cleaner version of it. Lastly, do not forget to initialize Firebase. We will initialize Firebase inside the app class. Hence, create a new class, app. The app class will extend the application because the application runs before any activity and lives for the entire app's lifecycle. Now you will be wondering why we can't initialize it in main activity. Because main activity only exists when that specific screen is active, while application is active for all the screens. So in some cases, we can initialize it in main activity, but not for all. Got it? Now initialize the Firebase. Then next, a coroutine scope with dispatchers.io. It will be used because signing in is a network operation and should run off the main thread to avoid freezing the UI. Again, we will use run catching. Inside it, anonymous signing is done so that even without user registration, the app still gets a valid Firebase user ID, which is required to read-write data in the Firebase real-time database or storage securely. And we will continue the code in part 2 where we'll set up the view model and navigation. So yeah, that's it for the video. If you are new to this channel, then please consider subscribing to my channel and I'll see you in the next video. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and also welcome back to part 2 of the resume app. In this video, we'll set up the view model and navigation. So let's continue. Create a new package, view model. Inside it, create a new class, resume view model. You know what a view model is, right? It acts as a bridge between view and model, where view is the UI, model is the data, and view model connects the UI and data. Basically, logic. Now, here in the resume view model, add the application class as the parameter. It extends Android ViewModel app. That means this ViewModel is tied to Android application's lifecycle. Inside it, you call the resume repository variable, which we created before. It acts as a middleman between the app and the database. Next, declare internal UI state using mutable state of UI state. This will make sure that the UI reacts automatically whenever the data changes. So if your state updates, the UI will recompose without you forcing it. Finally, you expose a read-only version of that state through UI state get is equal to internal UI state dot value. This way, the UI can observe the state but cannot accidentally overwrite it, keeping your state management clean and controlled. Next, create a function setPhotoURI as the parameter. Its job is simple. Update the current UI state with a new photo URI. Basically, set the profile photo. Instead of directly changing the old state, you do something smarter. You take the current internal UI state.value, then call copy on it, changing only the local photo URI property to the new URI. After that, you assign this fresh copy back to internal UI state.value. It's like if the photo changes, then instead of updating all the information, we just update the profile photo. Simple. Then create a new function, local photo bitmap or null. It is a private helper whose job is to safely turn the photo URL stored in the state into an actual bitmap object or return null if no photo exists. Basically, converting your profile photo into a bitmap image. First, it grabs the application context using getApplication because decoding images requires access to the system. Then, it looks up the current local photo URI from your state. If that's null, the function exits early with return null. Next, inside a run catching block, it tries to decode the image. If the Android version is 28 or above, it uses the modern image decoder API as shown. Otherwise, it falls back to the older, now deprecated mediastore.getBitmap method. Finally, the decoded bitmap is passed through to software bitmap, for which we will create a separate class. It is a helper that ensures the bitmap is in a software render format instead of a hardware packed, which is crucial because PDF APIs don't handle a hardware bitmap reliably. Understood? Lastly, get or null prevents crashes and gracefully returns null if decoding fails. We still have a lot of code to write in the ViewModel, but first, let's convert our hardware bitmap to a software bitmap. Hence, create a package, utils. Inside it, create a class. I'll name it bitmap extensions. Here, create a function, bitmap to software bitmap, which returns obviously a bitmap at the end, but a software bitmap. Then it checks the bitmap's configuration. If the config bitmap.config.hardware, that means the image is being stored in GPU memory, which is efficient for display but cannot be manipulated or drawn into things like PDFs. In that case, the function creates a copy of the bitmap in the more flexible way. bitmap.config.argb8888 format, which is software based and fully editable, hence is mutable as false. Otherwise, this. If the bitmap is software rendered in the first place, then it just returns itself without making a copy. We are writing all of this code to ensure our bitmap is compatible with the PDF. Got it? Now back to resume view model. Here we need to write logic for updating the information, which includes personal, qualification, and experience. Then also the logic for storing the information in Firebase, deleting it, and finally downloading the PDF. So let's write first for updating. Hence, create a function update personal, whose parameters are name, email, phone, and location, all of whose data type is string. The function update personal is designed to update the personal information section of your resume. First, it grabs the current resume object from the UI state using internal UI state.value.resume. Then it builds a brand new state using copy, ensuring immutability. We should never mutate the old one directly. Inside this copy chain, it goes deeper. It copies the resume. Then within that, it copies the personal section. For each field, name, email, phone, and location. It checks if the new value passed into the function is null. If it's not null, it replaces the old value with the new one. But if it is null, it keeps the existing value. Got it? Finally, this updated copy gets assigned back to internal UI state.value, which tells Compose the data has changed. Please update the UI. Now same thing we will do for the qualification section as well. Hence, create a function update qualification which contains degree, institution, start year, end year, and skills. The function update qualification will update the qualification information section of your resume. Again, it grabs the current resume object from the UI state using internal UI state.value.resume. Then it builds a brand new state using copy. Inside this copy, it goes deeper. It copies the resume. Then within that, it copies the qualification skill section. For each field, degree, institution, start year, end year, and skills. It checks if the new value passed into the function is null. If it's not null, it replaces the old value with the new one. But if it is null, it keeps the existing value same. Next, create a function update experience whose parameters are company, role, experience years, and responsibilities. Again, this function updates the experience details. So first, current resume object from the UI state using internal UI state.value.resume. Then it builds a new state using copy. Inside this copy, it goes deeper. It copies the resume. Then within that, it copies the experience section. For each field, company, role, experience years, and responsibilities. It checks if the new value passed into the function is null. If it's not null, it replaces the old value with the new one. But if it is null, it keeps the existing value same. Simple. Next, let's write the logic to delete all the information. Hence, create a new function, delete all, whose only parameter is onDone, which is a unit. This function's job is to wipe out the current resume and reset the state. First, it grabs the resume ID from the current UI state using internal UI state.value.resume.id. Then inside a coroutine launched in ViewModel scope, it set the state to show that saving is in progress, which is saving is equal to true, and clears any previous messages. Next, It runs the delete operation inside a run catching block. If the ID is not empty, it tells the repository to delete that resume. If the operation succeeds, the state is reset entirely to a fresh UI state. And the on-done callback is triggered to let the UI know everything is cleared. If it fails, the state is updated to show that saving stopped. Is saving is equal to false and includes an error message describing what went wrong. Easy? Likewise, we will do for storing the information in the Firebase. Hence, create a function save to Firebase. This function's purpose is to save the current resume with a photo to Firebase. It launches a coroutine in the ViewModel scope, so the work happens safely in the background without freezing the UI. Right away, it updates the UI state to show that a save is in progress. Is saving is equal to true and clears any old messages. Then on background thread dispatchers.io, it tries to fetch the local photo bitmap using local photo bitmap or null. After that, inside a run catching block, it asks the repository to either create a new resume or update the existing one, passing along the current resume data and the bitmap. If the operation succeeds, the UI state is updated with the saved resume. The saving flag is turned off and a success message saved is shown. If something goes wrong, the state is updated to reflect the failure, turning off the saving flag and showing an error message with the exception details. Got it? Next, create a function download PDF whose parameter is URI. This function's job is to export the current resume into a PDF file at a location chosen by the user. First, it checks if the provided URI is null. If it is, then nowhere to save the file, so it exits early. Otherwise, it launches a coroutine in the IO dispatcher. Inside a run catching block, it tries to grab the local photo bitmap, grabs the application context, and calls generate resume PDF to URI, which actually creates and writes a PDF into the given URI. We will create this in upcoming video. For now, leave it as it is. If everything works, it switches back to the main thread using with context dispatchers.main and updates the UI state with a success message PDF saved. If something goes wrong, like a file permission issue or PDF generation failure, it again switches back to the main thread. But this time updates the state with an error message describing what went wrong. And that's it. Our resume view model is ready. Next, we will set up navigation, the navigation between screens, like navigating from personal details screen to the qualification screen, then to the experience screen. So create a new package, navigation. Here, inside it, create a class, navRoutes. Here, we will create an object called routes, which works like a map of all the screens in your app's navigation system. Inside it, you declare 4 constants: personal, qualification, experience, and preview, each holding a string. This string values acts as a unique identifier for your navigation graph. So when you tell the app to navigate to routes.personal, it knows exactly which screen to show. We have 4 screens: personal screen, qualification screen, experience screen, and preview screen. Within these 4 screens, we will handle navigation. Hence, first create these 4 screens. Create a new package, UI screens. Inside it, create 4 classes: personal screen, qualification screen, experience screen, and preview screen. And then now come back to nav routes. So below it, create a composable function app navigation. This is where we will tell the screen where to navigate. So first, initialize nav host controller. Then call the view model as well, because the view model contains the actions and it will tell what action to perform where. Next, the nav host contains the nav controller and start destination, where our first screen is routes.personal. Then inside the nav host, let's write the navigation for personal screen. So create a composable routes.personal. When the app navigates to routes.personal, it will show the personal screen. The screen has 4 parameters. First, we will mention all of them in their respective screen. Make it a composable function. Then mention UI state, on next, on photo picked, and on field change. I will explain it in detail in a while. Likewise, we will do for all the screens. I will explain each parameters in detail. So come back to neighborhoods. Here UI state, where it receives the current UI state from the resume view model, so it can display the latest data. Then there's an on next callback, which tells the nav controller to navigate to the qualification screen when the user wants to continue. Then on photo picked points to the set photo URI, so when the user chooses a photo, the view model updates the state. Lastly, on field change points to update personal, so typing into text field immediately updates the personal detail in the state. It's like if the user clicks this, then this particular action will be performed. And all of these actions logic is present in the view model. Likewise, we will do for the qualification screen. So create a composable routes.qualification. When the app navigates to routes.qualification, will show the qualification screen. The screen has 4 parameters. First is UI state, where it receives the current UI state from the resume view model, so it can display the latest data. Then we have on preview, which navigates the user back to the previous screen using pop-back stack. Then we have on next, which navigates the user to the next screen, which is our experience screen. Then lastly, we have on field change. If the user clicks on the text field, it goes into the update qualification state from the view model. Next, same we will do for the experience screen. Here again we have 4 parameters: UI state, on preview, on next, and on field change. Lastly, we have the preview screen. Here we have 5 parameters. First, UI state, which receives the current UI state from the resume view model, so it can display the latest data. Then we have on edit. If the user clicks on the edit option, then navigate the user back to the personal screen for editing. Then next, we have on delete. If the user clicks on the delete option, then the delete all method from the view model will delete all the data. Once deleted, it will remove the previous personal screen and then navigate to the new personal screen, which is completely reset. Then next, on save database, we'll save the data to the Firebase, for which we have used save to Firebase function from the view model. Lastly, on download PDF, we'll download the PDF using the download PDF function from the view model. And then at the end, do not forget to call the app navigation function. So go to main activity. This is the entry point of your app. Remove default code. Here inside the set content, inside the theme, call app navigation. Main activity is like the front door of your app. When the app launches, it opens the door, applies your theme, and then gives control over to the app navigation to decide which screen the user should see first and how they'll move through the app. Got it? And that's it. In the next video, part 3, we will design our phone screens. Okay? So yeah, that's it for the video. If you're new to this channel, then please consider subscribing to my channel and I'll see you in the next video. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and also welcome back to part 3 of the resume app. In this video, we will design the UI screens which includes personal screen, qualification screen, experience screen and preview screen. So let's start with personal screen. Here we already have some code that I didn't explain in detail in the previous video. Hence, I'll explain it now. First, we have a package UI screens in which we have 4 screens as shown. The personal screen is a composable function that has 4 parameters. The UI state parameter is used to display the current state of the screen. The onNext callback is triggered when the user finishes entering details and wants to move to the next step, like navigating to another screen. The onPhotoPicked handles when the user selects or updates their profile photo, passing the image URI back to the ViewModel. Finally, onFillChange, name, email, phone, and location is called whenever the user edits their personal details, allowing the updated values to be sent directly to the update state. Got it? In the previous video, we have already defined the parameters actions in the nav roots. Next, create a photo pick variable. Here, we will set up the photo picker logic using remember launcher for activity result with the pick visual media contract which allows the user to choose an image from their gallery. The result of this action is returned as a URI inside the lambda, and that URI is immediately passed to onPhotoPicked, so the parent logic can handle it, such as saving or displaying the selected photo. Now comes the designing part. In the personal screen, we have a top app bar, a title text that says personal details, then an image choosing button, 4 outline text fields for name, email, phone, and location, and lastly a next button. So let's create it. First, create a scaffold in which create a top app bar whose title text is My Resume and text color is white. Then the top app bar color is blue and done. Add experimental exception. Then inside the scaffold, add padding values. Next, create a column with default padding and also 16 dp outer padding. Then keep the vertical arrangement spaced by 12 dp and horizontal alignment as center horizontally. This column covers the entire screen. Then inside the column, create a text that says personal details whose style is headline medium. Next, a spacer of 6 dp height. Again, a column whose horizontal alignment is centered horizontally and vertical arrangement is spaced by 8 dp. In this column, we will have an image that will display the user profile photo for the resume and a button that opens the photo gallery from which the user can choose an image. So create a async image. Async image is used to display an image. Let me quickly add a default image icon and done. Now in the model, add UI state, local photo URI. If any photo is stored, it will display the photo. But if not, then it will display our image icon. Simple. Then content description as selected photo. And the modifier, keep the size 96 dp and clip means shape as circle shape. See, There is nothing deep to explain in designing, it's very basic, right? But wherever logic is present, I will emphasize. Next, below it, create a button whose on click launches a photo gallery. So pick photo, the logic we created at the start, dot launch. Pick visual media request. Here only images should be shown to choose from, hence image only. I will keep the button color as blue. And the button text has an if-else condition. So if UI state local photo URI is equal to null, means no photo is displayed, then the button text will be choose photo. Else means photo is present, then the button text will say change photo. This little things makes the user experience better. Next, outside the column, a spacer of 12 dp height. Now, below the profile photo comes the text fields. Our first outline text field is for the name. This is where the user will write their name. The value is bound to uistate.resume.personal.name, meaning whatever text is stored in the state will be shown inside this field, keeping the UI reactive. The on value change calls on field change it null, null, and null, which updates the name whenever the user types, while leaving the other fields unchanged. The label is name. It displays a floating label inside the text box, giving context to the input. The modifier .fillMaxWidth makes the text fill stretch across the screen. And shape is rounded corner shape 16 dp applies the rounded corners. Likewise, we will create text fields for email, phone, and location with a few changes. And done. See, here email, phone, and location. The it holds the position of the value while keeping others null in on-field change. The next a spacer of 12 dp height. Below it, create a row with fillMaxWidth and horizontal arrangement as end. This row will consist of a next button where the button will be placed on the left side of the screen. So create a button whose on click performs the on next action which is mentioned in the navigation screen. See, the reason we have mentioned actions in the navigation screen is because this action will be repeated multiple times. Like this next button action is used here and it will be used in qualification screen as well and other screens too. So instead of writing the same code again and again, we create callbacks. Got it? Then keep the button color as blue. Also, we will add mandatory fields like for example, if the name and email of the resume are not blank, it means the name and email fields are present, only then will the next button will be enabled. Otherwise, if any of these fields are blank, then keep the next button disabled. Lastly, keep the button text as next. And that's it. Our personal screen is ready. Next, likewise, we will design the qualification screen too. It's similar, only a few things here and there are changed. So this time, let's do it quickly. Again, we have a composable function qualification screen which consists of UI state, on prev, on next, and on field change as the parameters. The UI state provides the current data or state to be shown on the screen, such as previously entered degree or institution details. The on preview callback allows navigation back to the previous screen, while the on next moves the user forward after filling out the details. The on field change function takes parameters for degree, institution, start date, end date, and skills, and is called whenever the user updates one of these fields, so the changes can be saved in the state. Then next, create a scaffold Inside it, create a top app bar. This time I am creating the top app bar as center aligned top app bar because we will have a back button on the top app bar too. So we need space for it. Then the title text is my resume and the text color is white. I'll keep the top app bar color as blue. Then I will add a navigation icon on the top app bar through which the user can go to the previous screen, basically from the qualification screen to the personal screen. Hence, a text button whose on-click performs the on-preview action mentioned in the navigation screen. The button text will be black and the color will be white. Add experimental API. Next, inside the scaffold, add padding values and then create a column with default padding values. Outer padding is 16 dp, vertical arrangement spaced by 12 dp, and horizontal alignment as center horizontally. Then inside the column, create a text that says qualification and skills, whose style is headline medium. Next, a spacer of 6 dp height. Again, we will have 5 text fields for degree, institution, start year, end year, and skills. So our first outline text field is for the degree. This outline text field is designed for entering the user's degree for a resume. The value is bound to UI state dot resume dot qualification skills dot degree, meaning whatever text is stored in the state will be shown inside the field. The on value change calls on field change it null null null, which updates the degree whenever the user types while leaving the other fields unchanged. The label text degree displays a floating label inside the text box, giving context to the input. The modifier .fieldMaxWidth makes the text field stretch across the screen, and rounded corner shape 16 dp applies the rounded corner. Likewise, let me quickly create all the other 4 text fields. See, institution, then inside the row, start year, end year, then outside the row, skills, where on-field change is specific to its position. Next, a spacer of 12 dp height. Below it, create a row with field max width and horizontal arrangement as end. Then inside the row, create a button whose on-click calls the on next action. Keep the button color as blue and the button text says next. And that's it. Our qualification screen is also ready. Now the experience screen is exactly like the qualification screen. So we are simply going to copy and paste the code and then do the required changes. Here we have a composable function experience screen. Add on-field change parameters such as company, role, experience years, and responsibilities. Remove the extra field. Then the top app bar remains as it is. Next, write the title text as experience. Then comes the text fields. So our first value is company and the text is company name. Likewise, we will do for role, experience years, and responsibilities. We only have 4 fields. Now lastly, here the button will navigate to the next screen only, but it is also the end of resume fields. Hence, I'll keep the button text as finish. And that's it. Our experience screen is also ready. I forgot to add bracket here to correct that. Now let's design the preview screen. Again, it's a composable function with 5 callbacks. This function defines a screen that shows the final preview of the user's entered detail before saving. The UI state provides all the data to be displayed in the preview, such as personal, qualification, or other details. The onEdit callback lets a user go back and make changes, while onDelete clears or removes the current data if they want to start fresh. The onSave database is used to store the information into a database for storage. And onDownload PDF handles exporting the data into a PDF file. Then next, create a create PDF variable. This setups a PDF document creator using Remember Launcher for activity result with the create document contract, which allows the user to generate and save a new file on their device. The main type application/PDF specify that the file to be created will be a PDF. When the user chooses a location and a name for the file, the system returns a URI for that file. And the lambda URI on download PDF URI immediately passes the URI to the on download PDF function, so it can be used to write or export content. Basically, it connects the system file creation with our app's export logic. Next, create a scaffold. Inside it, create a top app bar, center align top app bar, whose title text is My Resume, and the text color is white. The top app bar color is blue. Add experimental API. This time we will have two buttons on the top app bar. One is the navigation button and two is the action button. So for the navigation icon, create a text button whose on click calls on edit and keep the button text as edit and text color as white. Then actions, create a text button whose on click calls on delete, where the button text says delete and the text color is white. Then add padding values. Inside the scaffold, create a column with default padding, outer padding as 16 dp height, vertical arrangement as spaced by 16 dp, and horizontal alignment as center horizontally. Inside the column, create a title text that says Resume Preview with headline medium. Again, give a spacer of 6 dp height. Then below the title, we will have a resume preview with all the details that will look like this. So what we will do is we will cover this resume card in the next video, which will be our last video, part 4. Otherwise, this video will become very long, so I will leave this place blank for a while. Below the resume card, we have two buttons, Save and Download PDF. Hence, to create that, first create a row with horizontal arrangement spaced by 12 dp. Inside the row, create a button whose on click will call on save database. You can backtrack to see the logic of on save database. Basically, it will store all the details in the Firebase database. When the data is being stored, that time the button will enable the is saving state, means instead of loading or progress, we will have is saving. Keep the button color as blue. Then the text has an if-else condition. So if the UI state is save, that time the button text will say saving. Else the button text will say save. And keep the text color as white. So create a button whose on click will launch the create PDF function, which we created at the start. Then the PDF file name will be resume underscore whatever the user's name is in the resume. But in case if it is blank, then my.pdf. Next, keep the button color as blue. Also, the button text will be download PDF and the text color will be white. Lastly, display the message. So if UIState.message is not null, it will display that message as a text on the screen. The save call operator dot checks if message exists, and if it does, then let block runs, creating a text composable with the message string it and applying the theme's primary color. If UIState.message is null, nothing is drawn and the line is skipped. The message can be saved or PDF saved or failed, whichever is as per the result. And then our preview screen is also almost ready. In the next and the last video, part 4, we will cover designing the resume card. and also the PDF conversion with our final output. Okay, so yeah, that's it for the video. If you're new to this channel, then please consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and also welcome to the final part 4 of the resume series. In this video, we will design the resume card and manage PDF conversion. So let's start with the resume card. Create a package, components, inside it, create a class, resume card. This is what a resume card is. We have a card, an image, a lot of text, and dividers. Basically, whatever text we took from the user, it's now time to display it. So first, create a composable function, resume card. Then inside it, we pass a resume object of type resume data so that the card can display details like person's name, skills, or experience. The modifier parameter is provided with a default value, which gives flexibility to the function. Next, inside the resume card function, we will create a card. Again, the card will have the default modifier. Then the shape is large. Card elevation is 8 dp and container color is white. Now, inside the card, create a column whose padding is 16 dp. Then inside the column, create a row with field max width and horizontal arrangement spaced by 16 dp. Next, we have a sync image, which is where we will display the user's profile photo. Here, the model is resume.personal.photo URL. This is how we retrieve the image. You can backtrack the functions to see where it comes from. If it is empty, then none. The content description is profile photo. Modifier size is 96 dp and content scale is crop, meaning the image should be cropped to fit into that square. Next, create a column whose weight is 1f because we are taking the half side of it. We are adding this text inside the column. Create 4 text. The first is resume.personal.name, whose style is title large and font weight is bold. Likewise, email, phone, and location. All of their style is body medium. Okay, this part is done. Now let's create the qualification part. So give a spacer of 12 dp height, then a horizontal divider, partition line basically. Again a spacer of 12 dp height. Now create the title text that says qualification, whose style is title medium and font weight is semi-bold. Then another text that displays degree through resume.qualificationskills.degree and beside it displays the institution. We have used a dot for separation. Again, create a text to display start year, then a hyphen, and then the end year. Now to display skills, first check if the skills are not blank. If it is not, then give a spacer of 12 dp height. Then a horizontal divider, again a spacer of 12 dp height. Then the text title that says skills, whose style is title medium and font weight is semi-bold. Then lastly, display the skill using text. Now let's create the experience section. So first, give a spacer of 12 dp height, a horizontal divider, then again a spacer of 12 dp height. This is what we are creating now. So create a text title that says experience, whose style is title medium and font weight is semi-bold. Then another text that displays the company name through resume.experience.company. And beside it, display the experience years. We have again used a dot for separation. Again, a text that displays the role. Then again, a text that displays responsibilities. But if it is blank, then display a hyphen. And that's it. We have successfully created the resume card. Now remember, in the last video, we left some space blank in preview screen for the resume card, right? Let's read it. So go to preview screen. Here below the spacer, call the resume card function which we just created. It will display the resume with fill max width and done. Now it's time to generate a PDF. So in utils, create a class PDF utils. It's a utility class, which means it provides a service that converts our PDF to URI. Hence, I'll keep the function name generate resume PDF to URI. I'll explain to you in detail why we are converting our PDF into URI. A URI is Universal Resource Identifier that works as a safe, shareable link to a file's location. Unlike a normal file path, a URI can be securely shared between apps. For example, sending the PDF by email, or uploading to Drive, or opening it in a PDF viewer without exposing the internal storage path. This makes the resume portable, accessible, and compatible with Android storage and sharing system. You can save a PDF file directly, but saving via URI is the recommended approach. Got it? Also, you will hear a lot of words like canvas, paint, drawing. So don't get confused. We are ultimately creating a PDF but in a canvas style. Okay? Now let's continue. The function contains 4 parameters. The first is context, which gives access to Android system service like file handling. Then resume data. It contains the details we want to print on the PDF. Photo bitmap. It allows us to include a profile picture in the document. And output URI, which is the URI, tells the function where the final PDF should be stored. Simple. First, give the PDF a size. I'll keep it A4 size only. So create a variable page width that determines the width of the PDF page, which is 595, and page height is 842. Next, once we know the size, then create a well PDF variable android.graphics.pdf.pdf document, which creates a new blank PDF document object where we'll add the pages. Next, well page info PDF document dot page info dot builder. It defines the details of one page, its width, height, and page number. Here it is 1. Then well page PDF dot start page page info. It actually starts that page inside the document, preparing it for the drawing. Finally, well canvas is equal to page.canvas. It gives us a drawing surface on the page, just like a blank paper where we can draw text, images, and shapes to design the PDF content. Now let's set up the styles for drawing text and lines on the PDF page. The paint class in Android is like a paint that controls how things looks when drawn on a canvas. The first is title paint. Please use correct imports. This pen creates a bold pen with 20F text size. It is used for writing big titles like a name. So if I want to write text like a title, then I will use this title paint pen. Then header paint. It is a bold pen but smaller version, 14F text size, used for section headings like skills or experience. Next, text paint. It is a normal pen with 12F text size used for body text such as email, phone, or descriptions. Lastly, a divider is a pen with a light gray color and 2F thickness used to draw separating lines between sections. Now, as it's a canvas, we have X and Y axis, where X is the horizontal axis and Y is the vertical axis. Hence, I will keep the y-axis starting value as 40F. F stands for float. This ensures that we are leaving some space at the top margin before writing the first line of the resume. Our first line will be at the 40 pixel from the top. See, this is what the resume PDF looks like. We have some space left here. That's the space I'm talking about. Then we have a photo. So let's add the photo to the PDF. The photo.let means it will only run if a photo is provided. Inside it, create a save bitmap variable. It.software bitmap makes sure that the image is in a safe format for drawing. Next, the photo size is 96. Then a scale variable where bitmap.create scaled bitmap resizes the photo to be a fixed 96 into 96 pixels, keeping it neat and consistent. Finally, canvas.draw bitmap. It places the scaled image onto the PDF at the top right corner, page width minus size minus 40. It ensures some margin from the right edge, while Y keeps it aligned with the top spacing. And our profile photo is placed successfully. Next is the personal details section. This is where the pens will be used. So first, canvas.draw text, resume.personal.name, then 40F, then Y plus 24F, and then the title paint. It writes the candidate's name using the big bold title font, which is title paint, slightly below the current Y position. After that, Y plus is equal to 44F, which moves the writing cursor further down so the next line doesn't overlap. Then each detail like email, phone, location is drawn one below the other using this small text paint pen. And after each line, Y is increased plus 18F or plus 26F to maintain proper spacing. Next, as you can see, after the location, we have a divider. So let's create a horizontal divider line across the PDF page. Canvas.draw line 40F, Y, then page width minus 40, to float, then Y, then the divider. Means, start the line 40 pixel from the left edge, draw it horizontally across the page until 40 pixels before the right edge. Place it at the current vertical position Y. Use the divider, paint a light gray 2 pixel thick line which we created before. After drawing, Y plus is equal to 24F moves the writing cursor further down, leaving space before the next section start. And it is done. Then our next section is qualification and skills. So first, canvas.draw text, qualification, 40F, Y, header paint. It writes a section heading qualification using the bold header style. Then Y plus is equal to 20F moves the cursor down to the start writing details. Next, the degree and the institution are printed together using the smaller text style, keeping the x-axis as 40F and y-axis default. After writing, y is pushed down again by 18F. Then the start year and end year are drawn below it, exactly like above. Then again moving y further down by 18F. Finally, canvas.drawLine. It draws a light gray horizontal divider line to separate this section from the next. And y plus is equal to 24F, add some spacing after the line. Our qualification section is over. Now let's design the skills section. But before that, we need a multi-line function that is used to print long paragraphs or a skill list neatly across the multiple lines within a fixed width, instead of cutting off the text in a single line. So create a function draw multi-line that includes parameters like canvas, text, x-axis, y-axis, max width, and paint. At the end, it returns a float. First, create a variable word which splits the given text into individual words using spaces. Then it initializes y to the provided starting position and prepares an empty line string. Then create a for loop where w is the variable in words. Then the trial checks if the line is empty, which means no words have been added yet. So the trial just becomes the current word w. If line already has some text, then trial becomes the existing line plus a space plus the new word. Next, for each word, it checks whether adding that word to the current line will make the line exceed the following max width by measuring the text length with paint.measureText. If it does exceed, the current line is drawn on the canvas at x, y. The vertical position y is moved down by 16F to leave some space for the next line, and the current word starts at a new line. Simple. If the word fits like trial, then it simply appends it to the ongoing line. After the loop finishes, the last unfinished line is also drawn, and y is moved on once more by 16F. Finally, the function returns the updated y value so the caller knows where to continue writing on the page. Now, let's use this multi-line function here in skills. First, draw text skills at 40F, header paint style, and y plus is equal to 20F, add some spacing after the line. That if skills are not blank, the PDF won't waste space if no skills are provided. If skills are present, it calls draw multi-line, which takes the skill text, breaks it into multiple lines so it doesn't overflow, and draws them starting at position 40F, y with the given text paint. The function also returns the updated y position after the text is drawn. Then y plus is equal to 6F. Adds a small vertical gap after the skills block, giving space before the next section starts. Next, create a divider. Then our next section is experience. Next, write the heading experience using the bold header font following 20F y spacing. Then print details like the company name along with the year of experience, the job role, and the list of responsibilities, each one below the other with proper spacing. Let me quickly write it. And done. Once all the experience details are drawn, pdf.finish page tells the system that this page is complete and ready to be included in the document. Then using context.contentResolver.openOutputStream output URI, it opens the destination file pointed to by the URI and writes the generated PDF content into it with pdf.write_to. Finally, pdf.close closes the document to release resources. Lastly, don't forget to call generate resume PDF to URI here in the resume view model with app context, resume, bitmap, and URI. And that's it. Our resume app is ready. Now let's run the app and check. Then lastly, add the experience details. I'm not able to write it. Let me check what's the issue. Okay, so it seems like this is happening because of the fields are arranged at the wrong positions. So rearrange them as shown in the view model. Now it should work. So run the app again. We will add the personal details such as profile photo, name, email, phone, and location. Click on next. Then we will add the qualification details and skills, which includes degree, institution, start year, end year, and skills. Again, click on next. Then add experience details such as previous company name, role, years of experience, and responsibilities. Click on finish. This is what the resume preview looks like. All the details are displayed in our resume card. Click on save. This will store all the data in the Firebase real-time database as well as Firebase cloud storage for images. See, you can also edit the details and save them again. See, it is reflected in the database as well. Now let's download the PDF. Save it, and here it is, a complete resume in a PDF format that you can actually use and share for job applications. This is the resume PDF that we created just now in PDF utils, right? Also, it's a CRUD based app, so create, read, update, and delete. I click on delete, and the resume will be deleted from the database. The resume details are reset, and now you can create a fresh new resume. Perfect. With that said, our JetBase series has come to an end. Let me know in the comments what new topics you are looking forward to, and I'll create them for you. Okay? So yeah, that's it for the video. If you're new to this channel, then please consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.